Welcome to the last chance qualifier. So we're not quite done with the groups yet for the Nations Cup. Before we're heading into the round of 8, we have one last group of 4 that we're going to play out. And this group contains all of the third places that we had from group A, B, C, and D. I talked about this already a bit when we were going through the group stage itself, that in case one of the top 8 teams would drop out, that we will look towards the the third team of each group, put them in a separate group, and then determine the best third team to fill that slot, and exactly that has happened. So obviously from the beginning there was a chance that maybe with the Ukrainians or with the Russians there would be an issue with visas. They've been communicating with us right from the beginning. They were saying like, hey guys, we really want to participate, there might be some problems, and we told them, look, it's not an issue. Play it out, try to get your visas, try to see if everything is working. If not, then we can always adjust them later on. And well, at least for the Russians, some of their players weren't able to get that visa, so the team, instead of going for some sub player, said, okay, we're going to withdraw. We want to play with our full team, with our friends, and if that's not possible, then we're just going to withdraw from the tournament. So big shout out to them for being transparent from the get-go and being completely open in the communication here. They are being replaced, therefore, by the best third team. So we have Denmark and Czechia playing in our first series here today. This is a full round robin again, and we have best of 3 matches that are being played out between the teams, and then the team that comes out on top is going to make it into the top 8 and will participate in the big group in the round robin, where we're then going to narrow it down to the top 4 teams that will get a ticket to the offline event, which takes place in Berlin on the 10th and 11th of June. So if you guys haven't checked that out yet, there's links in the description where you can get additional information. We have one team coming over from Asia, another team from North America. In total, there will be 6 teams on site, and everybody can come and watch. This is all taking place at the Experian in Berlin at the Alexanderplatz, so super central location. It's a very new venue as well. There's a link in the video description if you're watching this on YouTube for the Experian, where you can also go to the website, check it out a little bit, and for example look at pictures of previous events that they've hosted. But everybody's welcome. There's no entrance fee over there, so if you happen to be in Berlin, or if you want to maybe go for a bit of a city trip and combo that off, make sure that you do. There's going to be a lot of former pro players. The players themselves are going to be there, casters, a lot of fans. It's going to be awesome. So make sure to check it out. With our match at hand, though, we are heading straight in here. We have one rule in this tournament, and this is that a hero that is drafted within the series cannot be drafted again. Keep that in mind as we are going forward. It's not full meta madness, but it's a little bit of a tip to the head just to say, hey, we're going to make it interesting for the audience. For the players, it's interesting, and obviously you're not watching Hanzo every single game. And talking about him, here he is, Hanzo, Johanna, and Lucio for the Danish team. They did pretty well. I mean, all of these third place teams did honestly a very good job in their groups, and a lot of them were just nibbling at second spot and hoping to get out of the group and just couldn't hack it. And now it will be super interesting to see which one of the 4 is going to be able to get that ticket into the round of 8 after all. So Czechia here with Blaze and Vala. Also good opening for Infernal Shrines. You have Vala to just lay down the carpet bombs with the multi-shots the entire time. Even though I gotta admit that we didn't really see a whole lot of multi-shot builds in the group stage, at least. Most of the teams that drafted Vala were opting into auto attacks and trying to just get that single target damage out. So a bit of a different approach that they had there. But it always depends a little bit, of course, on where you're playing. We had our arrow builds also. Battlefield of Eternity comes to mind, obviously. But on Infernal Shrines in particular was a lot of auto attack stacking. Now Genji is out, so is Uther. We have on the other side now the final ban on Hogger, who actually got banned very late here. Thought that he would be picked up a bit earlier than that, but not so much. Main tank still missing, so we're needing the main tank. We got Diablo, we got Anduin. Already a good combo for them. Diablo can engage, can be a bit more aggressive, can look for these stuns and for these quick hits, and then Anduin can always save the day if need be. Question is more so, what are they going to do on the last pick? Are they going to try to really protect Vala here? Is she going for a multi-shot build? This is going to be a double support, double frontline build again. I think multi-shot is likely. I would be surprised if every single Vala player on Infernal Shrines goes into auto attack. We have Jojo at the front, so you have also a blind to work with against, and you have Junkrat there for a bit of displacement. You Rel too. If you can just get your abilities through, that it probably helps you a lot more there. Crosby playing, so again the former HGC player here with Junkrat, and we got Baby Houdini on Urel for the side lane. With our final pick, it is Kerrigan! Triple frontline, I like it. Czechia, ladies and gentlemen, against Denmark. The first map Infernal Shrines hit the best of 3 series at the European qualifier for the Nations Cup. Game number 1, Denmark against Czechia. On the left side we have in blue Baby Houdini with Urel, Chinatown on Johanna, Bloodcool on Hanzo, the Soy Boy on Lucio, this by the way Seka in case that you don't know, and Crosby is playing Junkrat. I love by the way that Soy Boy is pretty much only playing Overwatch heroes. We've seen him a lot of Hanzo, we've seen him on Lucio right now, so I'm detecting a trend here and I can absolutely endorse this. If anybody in this universe is going full Soy Boy image, and it's definitely the Overwatch guys. Flash on the right side of the map for Czechia is playing Vala. We got the mouse on Anduin, Doki on Diablo, Snowbee on Kerrigan, and Kuba is playing Blaze. And there it is, the multi-shot approach from Vala, going for the multi-shot stacks with a fire at will here on level 1. Diablo, by the way, with a Feast on Fear as his level 1 choice. So already a couple of adjustments being made with Kerrigan opting into the Fury of the Swarm here on level 1. And the big attack right there in the middle. Blaze being focused and targeted right away as Baby Houdini is trying to go for a move. Diablo jumping in deep as everybody's just unleashing full chaos in teamfight on number 1, trying to get the first blood of the first game in this last chance qualifier. So, couple more hits coming in. Kerrigan with another stun attempt, which didn't quite work out, but they're still going for Hanzo, and they are not getting him. I expected Kerrigan to be able to work on the cooldown and just get another hit in, but she wasn't close enough. So yeah, Kerrigan not able to get the kill here. She's moving back into the middle for experience, and the rest of the team down here at the bottom of the map. But already off to a very aggressive start. I mean, Vala just attempting to stack her level 1, Diablo assisting a bit. With the 1 minute mark passing, the teams are both now going straight up for those camps. Doesn't seem that anybody is interested in an aggressive rotation. Hanzo is just securing this with a bit more vision for the team. Nobody is rotating over, and therefore they're both totally happy to just split the camps 1 for 1, which leaves the last camp at the bottom of the map. And there we could then finally also see that fight. So that's another thing to pay attention to. But, well, with that, we have in the middle, again, another attack coming as everybody is opting for another team fight. Well, it's a 4 versus 4 at this point. Chinatown at the front. Yeah, Jojo currently going on town to Diablo. But Doki makes it out. Blaze finds himself still alone up at the top. A little bit low, though. A little bit too low for my liking. So either tap that fountain or hit the B button, my friend. It's one of the two. But if you're staying there, you're just asking for trouble. So, yeah. Stays a little bit longer, tries to get the self-healer. I still call that a bit of a risky endeavor. I think he had the time to either move back. Maybe the cooldown is about to pop back on the fountain, and then he can use that. But you can see that he is under pressure there. And talking about pressure, seems like Baby Houdini is already attempting to apply some. But now that he sees that Blaze is also moving in, they're immediately moving back. Both teams going for the mercenary camp. We have still at the bottom of the map, Hanzo doing his thing, bursting another wave down. And nobody has really taken a big advantage yet. There's a bit of an experience lead for the blue team. Nothing too insane, but obviously it can make the difference on the first objective when you get your level 7. So top side, still a fight going on. Frontline taking lots of damage. Even if they don't get the kill here, that's already a win for the blue team. Denmark able to put enormous pressure onto Diablo, and that will definitely limit his movements. Won't be able to attack that aggressively. Time passing in favor of Denmark allows them to take position on the shrine and also the lead on those hits. Dibbles going back in again. And, well, Jojo is zoning them out in the backline. Top side, still our side laners doing their job. Trying to go for not only the camp, but also maybe even the kill in that case. Yeah, first Shaman is down. Baby Houdini is winning this one nicely and is buying a lot of time for the team as he moves back down to the bottom of the map. They have a level 7 on top of that too, so it's a 5 versus 4 for now with a talent advantage. And that's really the moment when Czechia should just say, alright boys, we're out of here. Especially since there's 30 stacks already for the blue team and they are about to hit the Punisher. So the red team realizing that this isn't happening just now, rotating back. 14 stacks for Vala going into the hot pursuit here on level 7 after following up with Arsenal on level 4, and they have to now try and just get the most out of it. At least stack Vala up a little bit, try and take that Punisher down as quickly as you can. but the wall is already gone. And that's usually the minimum they're aiming for, right? You want to at least get the wall. So, mission already accomplished. Idea would, of course, be to get a bit more. Nice stun, though, from Blaze. Very nice one. One more poke damage coming out. And seems like they're trying to go for Carrigan down here. Lucio. Careful, my friend. He was trying to keep Carrigan in place so that they can get a kill. But that also put him into range of the towers, which nearly killed him. Now, not really too much has happened here. Half of the HP is gone, the gate is gone, so I'd call that push still a success. But as you can see from the experience, there's not that big of a gap yet, and we're still waiting for the first kill in this first game. So they are a lot more evenly matched than we've seen teams being matched up in the group stage in particular, which was a given from the beginning. But here's first blood, Carrigan finally with that combo, and they're taking Lucio down, but it might cost Diablo his life. He's able to get out of the fight though, but Carrigan gets murdered by Hanzo. Arrow Boy just a little bit too strong, and he might not be the only one to fall here, because Baby Houdini goes in deep, but maybe a little bit too deep. They were just waiting for him to hop in, and I was like, goat meat, nice. Yeah, so that's the end of Urel. She's gone. That's the second kill for Czechia. Down to the bot lane though, Crosby. He's been still playing this out with Junkrat a bit more. He's been saying, well, you know what, boys? While you're fighting it out in the middle of the map, I'm going to go bot side, take another gate down, drop a tower or two, and then we'll slowly take it from there. When it comes to structures, there's absolutely no denying that the blue team is ahead. Level 10 on both sides. Riptire and Carrigan gets ripped to shreds because the stun from Anduin's ult triggers just a little bit too late to save the day here. Diablo still might be able to make it out here and is escaping. Okay, good for him. 2 kills to 2. Vala on 22 stacks by now. And here comes the Apocalypse, and it actually hits pretty hard. Nicely done. They're taking the camp. So they take the camp, pushed in by the mine of Junkrat, but the fight isn't over yet. In Diablo, I can't believe that he hasn't died more often than anything. I mean, he's honestly been playing it to the wall with this, but now they're losing not only Blaze, but also Anduin. Both of them are down. They just overstayed a little bit too much. Kind of crazy there. So yeah, initially a good attack with the Apocalypse seemingly thrown out a bit randomly, not really properly comboed, but connected with multiple heroes, so it was nicely done. It was used at a very good moment in time, and they were all attempting to stack for the camp. The camp claimed by Czechia, but they lose 2 heroes on the retreat. A bit more damage against their structures. So they're still behind in experience, but we'll see what they can now do with the second objective. Oftentimes the second one is the one that you focus on the most, depending a bit on the composition that you're playing, because it means that you have heroic abilities, or at least you should. If you don't have heroic abilities by the time that the second Punisher hits, something went horribly wrong for you. Let's just put it like that. So off we go. We got up at the top. Level 10 back up for Diablo in just a few seconds. Another 10 and he's going to be ready with the Apocalypse. Everybody else is already good to go. Carrigan is now slowly moving over. But the position has already been taken. Blue team is on it, starting to make their move. Diablo with the engage again, and Vala still getting her hits out. 17,000 damage for her, overshadowed by Hanzo, as per our usual agreement, and also Junkrat, but on her team, she is definitely leading the charge, trying to get more and more stacks on that level 1, so that she can burst that down a bit more. But they're about to lose another objective if they don't make an engage here, and that's why they're starting to push more aggressively into the shrine. They need to, since level 13 is also closing in. Riptire for the zoning in the back. Vala getting hit hard. Oh, and gets popped by the arrow. Holy hell. Vala just absolutely destroyed. Had the Riptire in mind, but then the arrow came in, and it was definitely too much to handle. They're taking down Anduin. They go for Diablo. He finally dies too. And now the next move straight into Carrigan. I think the entire team is going to fall here. Blaze is trying to escape towards the left, but even that is not going to work out for him. 5-man team wipe, ladies and gentlemen. And let's take another look at what led all of this. It was a kill against Vala. So first the Riptire, and now check Hanzo's arrow. Here comes, and bam! She got absolutely murdered there. Vala down. Now the top fort is nearly destroyed. Of course, they should be able to grab themselves the top Punisher now. But yeah, they're doing tons and tons of damage with these attacks, and it's now 9 kills to 2. So the Danish team off to a good start here in the first game of the series. Czechia trying their best, but they are suffering a lot of losses, not only in those team fights, but also when you're looking down to the bottom of the map. The fort will likely fall. I mean, all 3 forts are super low, and this one is about to be gone. Top side, they just now got the Punisher in the middle of the map. Baby Houdini could make a move there and try and take another one. Well, Kerrigan fights it out down here at the bottom of the map. At the top, the push continues. It's 13 versus 13 talents at least, but obviously there's no saving the top side fort. This is just not happening. Whereas down at the bottom, there's now 2 heroes. No, actually, it's like the Ultralisk and Kerrigan focusing on Urel. That's not happening. Question is more what's going to happen up at the top. Like, how much damage can be done here by Denmark? The Danish team about to take down the entire wall, so decent. But Urel has moved towards the middle and is going to try and push another minion wave in so that they can take down the fort as well, which is the last fort. And since everybody else is already rotating over, that should be a pretty easy session for them. Don't see that going wrong. 16 versus 14, 2-level lead. Yeah, that top fight was rough. Nice stun once again. Oh, Anduin, good move. Anduin saving Vala. That would have been a kill for sure. But the team still lost the fort and is trying to move back here. Tons and tons of damage done now. And, oh, blessed shield. They're trying for Kerrigan. Chrysalis, is it enough? Yes! Nicely played by Snowby over here. So, Chrysalis used, allowing Kerrigan to escape, but they're breaking through the side wall. Damn, they're aggressive. They're really going deep. Look at Baby Houdini. Alright, he jumps back out, but boy, oh boy, are they pushy now. Coming in to take the gate down. One tower has been broken. And yeah, this is a bit crazy. So, with that said and done, we have them nearly 3 levels ahead again. Crosby already doing his thing over on the camp once more. Obviously, the game is now heavily stacked in their favor. They've destroyed every single fort. They have access to the top and the mid keep. They are ahead in experience by 2 levels. And if they get another objective here, then they should push for keep and maybe even core. And the advantage that they're going to have on every single objective from here on out, unless Czechia is able to make a big push, is that they have still fountains on every single lane. So there's always a fallback option when you have to retreat during a shrine battle and then to re-engage. Bottom of the map, push is still happening, so they're trying to go for the wall here too. And they keep doing this. As long as there's no level 16 talent on the side of the red team, they keep doing these little pushes and hope to catch a hero off guard. Blessed Shield was a bit late there, trying to connect after Anduin moved for the pull. If it hits, it's a good move, but it was just 1 or 2 seconds too late. Maybe queued up and then still executed. Top side, they still have to defend this. And yeah, with that now, at least there's a little bit of structural damage. And there's level 16. This is the most important part. You have level 16, so now you can at least use that in the next fight. But the window is still there. Yeah, it's still pretty big. Level 20 should be in the hands of Denmark just after the objective hits. So if they win the objective and then push with level 20, that would be a disaster. That's a disaster too. Diablo moving over here, that's a huge problem. And they keep him away from Anduin. I love it. I absolutely love it. Diablo is down, and with the arrow and also Lucio, they kept Anduin away from Diablo so that they were guaranteed to get the kill. Now there's a blessed shield. They're charting the move in again. Anduin likely going to fall if they can burn the bunker down. And they can. One down. Vala attacked. She's gone too. Everything is falling apart for Czechia. Diablo trying to save the day with a kill on Lucio. Slams him into the wall. And that is, well, at least the end of a keep, I'd say. Nicely done by Diablo here with a kill on Lucio, but it just wasn't enough and it was too little too late in total. He died again, 14 kills to 3, and they are nearly on level 20. So yeah, this is brutal. That fight down there at the bottom was rough. First Diablo charging in and ending up over the wall. Anduin gets zoned away from him. Diablo falls. And then they chase the rest of the team as they're flanking in. dropping Anduin, Vala, and yeah, this is just a nightmare for the blue team. Also because the objective spawns at the bottom of the map, meaning that the Punisher will go for core now directly. So huge, absolutely huge fight, and they have level 20 on top of that too. I mean, it's difficult to make this any worse for them. So, yeah, all they gotta do now is play the safe. They're waiting for Lucio. They have vision in the middle thanks to the minions, so they know they can still skirt around the edges a little bit. They're not taking the last minion until Lucio is a bit closer. Could even try and take one of the camps if they really wanted to. And that is maybe even the final push for game number 1. 65,000 damage for Hanzo. Now they're pushing through the bottom of the map. They have a camp in the middle on top of that too. And here we go. This is their attempt to end game number 1 and take the lead in the best of 3 series here at the last chance qualifier. And can they pull it off? That defense is not going to be easy. 3 kills is all that they got so far, and they need to get a lot more if they want to prevent this from happening. Anduin with a quick pull, moving the Punisher into the middle. Frozen Punisher too, which makes this even harder, because it immediately negates the keep advantage that they have in the middle. There's the attack, the hits with the Blessed Shield. Diablo dead already, and the core losing its shield. Karrigan about to go down. Everybody else here is trying to run away. The blue team going ham, going for glory, going for victory, and that is game number 1. No saving this any longer. 16 kills to 3, 5 versus 2 situation now that Karrigan has died. And we have a lead for Denmark in this best of 3 series here at the European Qualifier for the Nations Cup. GG. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Map number 2, Garden of Terror. Denmark is in the lead against Czechia. Beginning was actually not too bad for the red team, but once that level 10 came in and we had the big fight at the top of the map for Punisher number 2, things escalated a bit and Denmark pulled ahead here. Again, last chance qualifier, so all of the top 3 teams, or all of the 3rd places out of the 4 groups are now united here and trying to get that last slot that we have. Genji gets banned, so we're not gonna get him in game number 2 either. I mean, you're in Garden of Terror, so I would expect that they're banning out Hogger now, because if not, then Hogger should be one of the first picks that happens here. It's a big map. You can do a lot of different things here. You want to either have globals, you can go for Falstad, Dehaka, but any kind of control over mercenary camps is obviously pretty strong, so Hogger is usually a very early pick on this one, or a ban. And in this case, they bat him out. So Hogger gets the axe. They were hesitating here a bit, but then he gets very quickly eliminated. If you want to go for mercenary, normally Rhaegar, for example, is one of the top healers on Garden of Terror, simply because he speeds up any kind of camp clear that you have, can traverse the map pretty quickly. So with all the wave clear that he brings to the table too, Rhaegar is usually top dog over here. Now, you can go Greymane, you can go for, pretty much anything that helps you clear a camp quickly. We've seen a lot of Jaina's as well, who can just simply come in, unleash the ability combos, get the camp clear going, and push with that. Sylvana's banned out once more, and the 10 heroes that have been played on the first map can obviously not be picked again. Now again, there's no pre-banned heroes for any of the qualifiers, but if you have if a hero was played, it can't be played again. So the 10 that we just saw on the first map cannot be played again. So we'll see what they're going to do here. We got a Brightwing, yeah, globals again, playing a big role here, potentially at least. And there's Dehaka. Okay, so 1 global already in the game. The Danish have been criticized during the group stage and also here for not picking the Vikings already, for not being historically accurate. And it is a big oversight. I don't like it either. They have still a chance though to correct that mistake. And I personally am not one to hold a grudge, so if they deliver with the Vikings, I would let it slide. I would be like, alright boys, you did it in the end. I can appreciate that. There's Rhaegar and there's Falstad, so pretty much as predicted. We got Rhaegar and we have our Birdie for globals on each side that they can now play around with. We've seen the Worm every now and then here too, so every now and then you get an Abatha. Every now and then it's a good day. You get a Slug and you get a lot of slapping. But What does Denmark has in mind now? They're obviously hoping for a quick lead here today. We have on day number 1 of the last chance qualifier, we have 3 best of 3s, and then we're going to continue on the second day. Stukov and Muradin, so it seems like they are going to try and get some nice combos off here. Stun from Muradin, quick leak from Dehaka into a Stukov lurking arm, and you can get kills quickly if you have the follow-up that you will definitely need then at some point. So if you just get some good burst damage out, will be more than enough. So let's see. What's it gonna be for? Ooh, Li Ming as a ban. Huh. That's actually an interesting one. That's not really a ban that I necessarily saw coming here. That has to be targeting Crosby. Crosby, the funny thing is also that a lot of the players that got revived for the Nations Cup haven't played heroes for a while, so they're looking at some of the heroes in the pool and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna stick to my, you know, to the stuff that I'm familiar with. But before I see a Li Ming, Crosby or no Crosby, I would assume that with this combo they are more so looking towards a Jaina, because that helps you in Garden of Terror also with Mercenary Camps and Wave Clear, which Li Ming doesn't to the same extent. So yeah. But here we go, double pick for the red team. And they pick Jaina. Okay, so that explains it a little bit more. They're trying to remove a couple of the mages from the blue team. They eliminate Li Ming. They themselves already had their eye on Jaina. And ETC gets taken as the front line, which leads to Crosby's Zagara. It's Garden of Terror. Give me a Nidus. If you're already here in that qualifier, give me a Nidus network. Depending on what the damage is that now comes out. I could have totally seen them going into some kind of Nazebo play again. But instead we're getting Crosby's Zagara and Sergeant Hammer. Yeah, that's a bit nasty. So you have... that 4-man is annoying as hell. That's a lot of push power. Could leave Zagara at the side there too. So there's a couple of options how they can play this. That leaves us with a final pick for the Czech team. And what is Mouse gonna do? Okay. Ah, the Vikings against the Danish team. Look at them. I like it. Okay, that's actually awesome. That's going to be fun. Garden of Terror, big map. Vikings are in the house, going up against Zagara and against Sergeant Hammer. Let's go, boys. Second map between Czechia and Denmark. The Vikings are in the house and they're fighting against the Danish today. On the left, for the Danish team, we got Soyboy on Stukov. We have Baby Houdini on Dehaka. Chinatown playing Muradin. Crosby with Zagara. And Bloodcool on Sergeant Hammer. On the right side of the map, what are we going to get there? Flash on ETC. That's a little bit of a question mark for me. ETC obviously can be super useful. We talked about this in the past. He can become a liability because he's just a bit more on the squishy side. Not really a sustained tank. Cuba on Falstad, a Mouse on the Vikings. Big map, big value to be had here if played correctly, as we've seen in the group stage already. Snowbee on Rhaegar, and Doki is playing Jaina. And we are seeing a Balog build. Explosive attacks on level 1. Bit of a sneaky one at the top as they're trying to burn one of the towers down. And guys, they're gonna get quite some value here. That's one of the towers gone for sure. And they're just gonna go for a push and counter push. So that will be interesting. One tower down, second one at the top. It's a race. Mid lane though, we have Zagara. So with the split that we're seeing from Denmark, I think they can push a lot of structures much more efficiently than the red team, simply because they have Zagara as well. But when it comes to the one lane push, this is gonna be likely the end of the top fort. Dehaka coming in to try and do his best here. Jaina burning the camp down to an extent. Has still to be a bit careful because they're running out of mana there too. That's where the globes come into play. That's one of the reasons why they went for this immediately. But yeah, this fort is gonna be gone. But Cuba! Oh! ETC saving the day, and the doggy with 6 hit points running away too. He literally had 6 hit points as he gets out. They take the fort down, but at the bottom of the map we're gonna see the same thing happening too. What an opening. I mean, check that out. The red team, they have to be a little bit careful. They're not gonna face check anything, since Dehaka is always a problem and is always sitting and lurking in some of these pushes over here. But, I mean, at the end of the day, we gotta check out what they can actually do here. So ETC checking in over here on the left side as he was trying to go for Crosby. That didn't quite work out for them, so they're trying to checkmate Zagara, but she already saw that coming a mile away and the rotation was probably announced, and then they simply moved away from that. But okay, now as we have the Vikings starting to take control of the lanes and locking in the experience, we have in the mid lane still a bit of an attempt happening to get those siege giants into a good position. Generally speaking though, if you end up exchanging structures at the beginning of the game, all that you're doing is you are accelerating the game. And that's what they currently did. That's a nice one. That was a great slide, and it should be the end of at least Sergeant Hammer. And it is. The counter attempt, though, is great, and that costs Falstad his life. Vikings still pushing a bit, and Jaina isn't here either. If Jaina would have been here in that fight, that would have been a total disaster for a lot of the heroes in the blue team. But as is, they're trading kills 1 for 1. Jaina still able to get that camp, so that's actually huge. Allows them to push the bot lane out a little bit more. So the fight might have been an even trade, but when we're considering that they were able to also soak experience with the Vikings and also get a camp with Jaina, then that was definitely a win for the red team. So not too shabby. First seed, though, goes over to the team in blue. But at the top, they're looking for another kill. They're trying for Baby Houdini. Gets attacked again. Gets absolutely swamped by them, and they're diving deep for this. The lick is there. Baby Houdini is dead. Can they turn it? They go for Jaina. I'm not so sure if they can get that kill, though. And Mirrodin is going a little bit deep for her. They're about to lose Crosby. He's gone. Stormbolt hits Jaina. She's dead, so at least they're getting a counter kill, but they're still losing the battle overall. Now, Sergeant Hammer is doing work in the middle, and they're really diving deep. I mean, holy shit. 20 hit points. Rega! Run! No, not this time. Last time he escaped with 6 hit points. This time it's a kill. They're losing the healer, and now they're losing ETC too. Stukov being super careful that he's not being eliminated in the process. Sergeant Hammer has taken down the wall and also half of the hit points in the middle. So there is just... there's shit happening everywhere right now. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Cam pushing up at the top with the help of Olaf. Down at the bottom of the map, Zagara now has to deal with the siege giants that we talked about earlier and is pushing them back. But oh my god, I mean, this is just all over the place. The Vikings attacking lanes, Sergeant Hammer pushing, Zagara pushing, team fights happening, objective being attacked. It's getting nuts here in game number 2. Serrated Spines on level 4 for Zagara. So we're going to get some auto attack damage in the long run. But the red team doesn't let up. Czechia has apparently decided the only way they're going to win this is by just showing aggression. But being aggressive and doing their thing as times continue. And honestly, I can absolutely appreciate this. So them being more and more aggressive with that is awesome. They're just trying to take the initiative. They're trying to control the pace of the game. They have the Vikings to soak at the side. So every time they force the hand of the blue team and force them to react, that works out in their favor. But it can easily backfire, as you've already seen now once or twice. Zagara gets a bit caught, though. That should be the end of her. Oh my, Jaina is... oh, they're really cutting it close. Jaina getting out again. ETC with the stage dive. They got their level 10. Trying to go for the slide. Slide into the Stormbolt, and then Gust and Ancestral have to be used to save him too, as he slides over the debris here. It's a glorious game. Absolutely glorious. I mean, it's really all over the place at this point in time, but it is a lot of fun. So yeah, good stuff. Okay. Now with Mirrodin still zoning and also, of course, waiting it out over here at the top. They can now go for another seed if the red team doesn't make any moves. We have both teams now with heroic abilities, and that gives us also the more at this point for Zagara. The hopes and dreams of the Nidus network have been shattered once again, as they probably always will. But there's another slide. More zoning ETC off. He's the shitty spot. And that was a nice hit by Sergeant Hammer with the ult. Not only connecting with ETC, but also damaging Jaina, and both of them fall. So that is another seed claimed, the second one in a row now for Denmark. And with the push power that they have, they are now going for top and mid lane. Zagara is already starting to take that wall down, get some assistance from Stukov, as we have in the middle of the map Sergeant Hammer firing away with one right click after another. Bloodcool really showing his mechanical skills here as he's weaving these right clicks in one after the next. Absolutely amazing. I mean, you can really see it here. Click, click, click. It's incredible. Click, move, it's glorious. So yeah, it's not as easy as it looks. It actually is. But down to the bottom of the map now. DeHaka also controlling the side lane as best as he can. And I mean, they got a global, right? They have to do something against Vikings, against Falstad, and against ETC. All of them are using their globals. ETC didn't even go for the mosh pit, but went into stage dive as well. So they got a lot of them now going for themselves. But yeah, Sergeant Hammer still AFKing on the top lane and getting the damage out. The rest of the team just working on the camp. And DeHaka is controlling side lane experience for them, as we have level 13 talents kicking in for Denmark. They're not too far ahead in experience. I mean, we still look at 7 kills to 5. So there is a bit of a difference. And Denmark is doing a great job on structures. But when you look at the team battles, not that different just now. Problem simply is that Czechia is currently losing more and more ground. That's pretty much the issue. They're losing more and more ground here. Another jump in by Muradin. ETC coming in too. They're trying to go for Sergeant Hammer. Gets out. Avatar on Muradin as they're diving deep again. Muradin getting bullied a little bit though. Nice ult again from Sergeant Hammer. That fight is not over by any means though. And they're making a move for DeHaka. And that is the end of Baby Houdini, even with the Stormbolt connecting. And ETC is not letting up either. Muradin dies as a result since Flash moves forward and gets another stun through. Yeah, Falstad in the bush. They still got to push them back here. Vikings starting to take control at the bottom of the map again. And this is already Vikings in a team fight without us even looking at level 16, where you normally see the Largen in charge, which would help them even further to get value out of the Vikings in team fights thanks to Olaf's stun. So really nice fight now from Czechia, and still the attempt to control the lanes. They already have a C2. So they got one objective, got one seed, they have now to fight for the next one. But it's 7 versus 7, and that's another kill. That's another kill. That's absolutely no. What a shove, by the way. Holy shit, what a Stormbolt! What? Stukov, you fucking beast! I mean, really? They turned this around? What? Okay, so they got a kill on Falstad. They got ETC, and now we have them maybe even with another kill. Ult misses. There's the Maw zoning Jaina off. She's gonna die. That's just nuts. Take a look at that kill again. Take a look at that first kill. Look at that shove. All the way into the towers. Muradin says, hello there. Stormbolt to the face. He's dead. And then they see Falstad and they say, like, you know what? That's another kill. What a move. I mean, Stukov, you can argue, should he have been there? Should he have been retreated a little bit earlier? But it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, they were able to get a kill on top of that too. That's just crazy. So, good stuff. Now we got the first set of Garden Terrors coming in, since the blue team obviously wasted no time getting that third seed and locking the objective in. All the forts have already been destroyed, so we're talking keeps at this point. And this is again where the game could totally flip. Czechia, they've done a good job keeping up in kills, keeping up with the pressure. Now it's 16 versus 16, which gives us the Largen in charge. And they defeat the first Garden Terror in the middle pretty damn easily. At the top, though, can they save? Oh, they cannot save Jaina. Oh, and the main question is, of course, can they save that keep? And it's not looking that great. So, yeah, Denmark, they are hoping to apply more pressure and get a 2-0 victory in this first series in that group stage. I mean, again, this is the last chance. This is the last chance qualifier. If you are not making a move here, then when, right? There's no other way, no other time to pull it off. So off we go again. Stukov dead, gets killed once more, which leaves him on 2 deaths. ETC with a slide. And I gotta give a shout out to ETC. ETC picks are always a bit of a question mark, but Flash has been playing it great throughout the game. Very aggressive as he needs to be, creating a lot of kill opportunities for the team, but they are still the team that is currently played to the wall here, because Denmark is just a little bit too strong, at least up to now. So as you can see, 11 kills to 9. Bottom keep is taking damage. Top keep has been destroyed. There is still a ticket back into this. Vikings on level 20 would be great. Vikings now on level 10 are already really nice. So they can definitely make still some moves there as the series continues. Or at least this map. But can they turn it? That's the big question. Jaina has 21,000 damage. ETC with another slide, hoping to surprise somebody here in the bush. They find the Haka eventually. It's just a little bit too late to capitalize on it. But they find also Sergeant Hammer, and that's a kill. Yeah, they were still greeting for the camp and couldn't get it. So now it's a kill and most likely the camp. They get 2 kills. Yeah, just as easy. Look at this. 11 kills to 11. Falstad flying in, looking for the gust, and Crosby is there too. Damn, son. Denmark just lost 3. They were going for the camp. They were attacked. The aggression that we're seeing non-stop from Czechia is working. Jaina is staying a bit too long. They're getting too greedy in these situations. They need to just go for the 2 kills, for the 3 kills, to say, alright, that's it, and then let it be. Instead, they nearly lose Falstad. Everybody else is on the run. They could have lost more heroes here, and they still can. If Baby Houdini is able to connect another drag, then that's the end of another hero. Ancestral too late. Oh boy, Czechia, why are you doing this to me? Oh no, I mean, he barely escapes here, but that could be another one. So they're just too aggressive right now. I mean, again, I love the aggression in general, but they don't know when to stop. At some point, just take the W and then capitalize on it. Look how many camps on the map that you could have taken to apply lane pressure. You could have gone into the middle and take a fort down, drop the fort at the bottom of the map. There's so many different things that they could have done with that time that the time window they created for themselves. But yeah. Then again, also big shout out to the blue team, right? I mean, it is absolutely nasty how they were able to turn that around again. It's incredible. It's actually insane. First they overstay at the camp, lose the camp, lose 3 heroes, and then they somehow still manage to turn it. So yeah, it's a bit of a bittersweet moment. It's great from the blue team, but it's also just a bit it's a bit sad for Czechia, because they worked really hard for that opportunity and they just squandered it. They could have gotten so much more in that situation and they just didn't. But they are still playing with an even deck here. We have level 20 on each side. They're pushing at the top a little bit. They have a double camp. They're now taking the catapult down, so that will help them to attack the top side keep. But they're also losing a keep at the bottom of the map, and they're losing it quickly. So before the defense is even set up, the keep is gone. They have to force that fight, I believe. And yes, that's exactly what they're trying to do here. Quick shove is in. Falster with the wind tunnel. That angle wasn't good enough, though. And yes, Sergeant Hammer survives. There's a kill on Falstad. Uh-oh, uh-oh, Rega is dead, so is Jaina, and I think that is the end of game number 1. Yep, nice moves. Topside is as expected, of course, pushing for keep. This one will fall, but down at the bottom of the game, of the map, this is where the game is currently being ended. Very nice effort by Czechia. I really like what they did here, but Denmark is just a little bit too strong for them to handle just now. The blue team with a 2-0 victory, the first best of 3 in this last chance qualifier decided by Denmark. Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.